this is going to sound a bit bougie now, isn't it? I don't think that should be your main holiday. If you
No,
need
I
to,
agree.
if you need to relax, a city break's
Yeah,
probably not the one, because you come back
intense.
feeling knackered, don't you? And rightly so. Like if you've done it right, you should be knackered.
Fantastic, mate. I want to move on now to the more staple questions from the show and ask you if you could pinpoint your favourite city in the entire world.
Woof. Favorite city? That is such a good question, isn't it? And you think I'd be better prepared. I mean, Rome springs to mind straight away because I don't think there's many places like Rome. You know, I'm a big fan of history. Like I used to be, did it at A-level. I watched, the World War II in colour documentaries on Netflix. I've just started watching one on the Roman Empire. Maybe that's why it's kind of eating its way into my subconscious. Yeah. But Rome, there just isn't many places like that where you're walking down every street and everything feels ancient.
Absolutely.
And that's pretty cool. And when I last went there, Celtic beat Lazio 2-1 at the Olimpico, which again might have something to do with it. We were sat with the Lazio fans. And the security guard lets all of my friends through. I roped in 3 mates to go with me. He stops me and he says, "You're English, aren't you?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he said, "Are you a Celtic fan?" And I was like, of all the people, like, I actually asking the one person who's a Celtic fan, are they a Celtic fan in the group? And I was like, "What, can you smell it on me or something? What's this all about?" And I said, "No, I'm actually studying here and I just came to sample the atmosphere."
Oh, unreal.
And as such, he let me in. We were stopped a few times by the Lazio fans to say, like, "Oh, where are you guys from?" And when you say London and Leicester, in a London and Leicester accent, it's not too hard to convince people otherwise. So, I mean, I'm sure if I'd said I'm from London in a thick Glaswegian accent, it might have been a problem. I think 2 people have been stabbed in the arse with like shivs that morning, which is a odd pastime of Lazio ultras. So I didn't really fancy getting stabbed in the arse.
I don't blame you, mate.
So I was pretty delighted to get the win and to get out of there. And then we found this little restaurant on the way back, which we were like, all right, let's just check the Google reviews for this place because it looks like shanty. It's a tarpaulin just nailed to the side of the house, basically. And it was like 4.8 on Google reviews from 5,000 reviews.
Wow.
And we were sat there saying to ourselves, "Have we just stumbled across a pasta gold mine?" And it was unbelievable. So everything about that trip sort of came together. Yeah, I think Rome's probably a good candidate for that.
Brilliant. Do you like doing city breaks? Is it something which you try and do regularly?
Yeah, but I think that shouldn't be your main. This is going to sound a bit bougie now, isn't it? I don't think that should be your main holiday. If you need to relax, a city break's probably not the one, because you come back feeling knackered, don't you? And rightly so. Like if you've done it right, you should be knackered. But I do love them, little bursts here and there. I much prefer that than a week lying on a sunbed in Greece.
Awesome. So Rome's your favourite city. What about a favourite country?
I do like the Spanish culture.
Yeah.
The siestas and tapas and ordering a beer and getting 8 small things to eat.
Oh, amazing.
In the south, along with that. I think it's only in the south that they still do that.
Yeah.
Fiscally, it doesn't really make sense. I guess they might not do it now with COVID and that. But yeah, being in the south and there's still loads of that culture is pretty prominent. It is cool. So Spain's definitely up there. I need to have a think. Favorite country. I also am much more amenable to the French than a lot of British people. Like,
okay,
I don't understand the general problem with them. Or in the north, yeah, maybe a little bit more standoffish. In the south, a bit more wily, a bit more vibrant. Like Marseille was a pretty cool city. A little bit edgy as well.
Yeah.
It's impossible to say like the States as well. It's effectively 50 small countries.
Yeah, it really is.
I'm going to go for Spanish culture as a knee-jerk sort of reaction to that question. Yeah.
Nice. Do you have any stories from times in Spain which you could relive?
Fantastic trip to Barcelona. That was a gift from my girlfriend, and a little stadium tour of Barcelona.
Lovely.
I remember at the time, I think it was after like 1 or 2 years, this probably ties in with your previous point, well, working at Football Daily, and I went there and it was so jarring just stopping working in that manner all together for like 4 or 5 days that I actually found myself out there really anxious, really like fidgety, didn't adjust to being on holiday from being at work. And it, not that it tainted the trip, but I'd like to go back because I felt on edge. I remember being on edge that trip, the first real trip after kind of making a good fist of it with Football Daily. But yeah, I'd say going back to the sort of Almeria stuff, the festival stuff. I really want to go to Madrid as well.
Great city.
I've been Madrid and more of the south where it's like 50 degrees and jet that clean into my veins, mate.